Hi, this is just going to sound a little bit like an anatomy lesson, but I think it's really important for us to understand what's happening in our mouth when we're producing the s and the z sound. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about it like producing sounds, because I sometimes think that when we put a label on these sounds, or the way certain people pronounce these sounds, it has a kind of like a negative connotation, and it just, makes us feel a bit awkward about it. But it's certain people pronounce our s and the z in different ways. So I just want you to start off thinking about how our mouth works. And once we understand that, then we can actually produce the s and z sound much more clearer. Okay, and also during this process, as we're trying to get used to making that sound, we're going to make mistakes, and that's all part of learning. But it's also so that we kind of like acclimatize ourselves to realizing where our tongue is when we make those sounds and where it should be. So being able to see the difference in those. So that's why I decided that I wanted to show you the anatomy of the tongue. So I'm going to start off with just showing you that on a diagram. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, so as you can see, just going to pull myself a bit bigger here. Right, okay, so as you can see, we've got here, let me just get my tools out so you can see what I'm pointing to. We can see here is the alveolar ridge. Okay, so if I get my pencil out, I'll just show you that the alveolar ridge is just behind our top teeth, and it's the wrinkly bit. When you put your tip of your tongue there, you'll feel it sort of like a bit bumpy, and that's the alveolar ridge. Okay, now this is your tongue. Okay, so we have a tip that is meant to go up to the alveolar ridge, and then we can make the s sound. Okay, or the z sound. Some people find it easier to sort of put the tip of the tongue tucked down here. But you need to try to work out which is easier for you, putting it up or putting it down. For me, it's easier to put it up because that's what I've got used to. But it's different for different people. Now, that's the way to make a s or z sound. But if you have your tongue in a different position, then you'll actually get a different sound. So before I show you all the different S's that people make, I want you to just think about very carefully how we make that S sound. So what we do is that we bring our tongue up to the alveolar ridge, and the sides of our tongue, these sides here, you make sure that they're tucked up along the side of our molar teeth, the big teeth at the back. So I shouldn't see a tongue down here. It should be tucked up here, and there should be also a bit of a gap at the front. So it's not completely touching the alveolar ridge, and then you should be able to do the Now people say that if you have your teeth together, like in a smile, it helps. So have a go at that. Let's see if you can do that. So the air is coming down the center of your tongue. It shouldn't be coming out the sides. If it comes out of the sides, then it will sound like this. And that is a lateral S. If I have my tongue, the tip of my tongue here, if I curl it back and I put it on the hard palate, this is a hard palate here, it will sound like this. So we must make sure that the tip is near the alveolar ridge. And the air is centralized, coming down the center of your tongue. Have a feel of that. Okay, so now that you've done that, you now know how to make that sound. And I've shown you the kind of ways other people make it. So when we have it's a lateral S. If we have it, the tongue back to the palate area here, then it becomes a strident S. If we have our tongue too forward against the teeth, pressed up against the teeth, it becomes a dentalized S. And if we have our tongue too far forward between our teeth, like this, then it becomes an interdental S. So it's really important to make sure that our tongue isn't here, it isn't here, but it's on this alveolar ridge with a slight gap at the front of the tongue to let the air go down the center. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense to you. If you have any questions, please send me a message to bev@bevjessup.com and I will give you some more tips on how to produce a clear and to avoid what other people call either lateral lisp, a palatal lisp or strident lisp, a dental lisp or an interdental lisp. So have a go at that, have a go at all those different positions of making an S, and then that will make you a bit more aware of the anatomy of your mouth. Now when you make your S, your tongue is going to be widened out so that it's touching, as I said, it's touching the sides of your teeth, but inside. Okay, so if it does that, then you're going to be able to really make a clear right. So I will see you in the next video when I will show you some of the things that I would like you to work on. Bye for now. So if you would like some more tips and tricks, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. And if you want more information, go to my blog, bevjessup.com/blog.